Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Good morning to everybody, or evening, afternoon, wherever you are. We've got women now all over the world in 150 countries and they're traveling all over the place. So I don't know where you are in this wonderful world. Thanks so much just for being here, for joining us. We get together, in so many different places now on 60 and Me. We've got our Facebook page, of course. We have Twitter. We have a wonderful YouTube channel now, which is really fantastic. We've got so many people there. I think about 65,000 subscribers now. And the comments there are great. It's one of those places where you can just have a bit more of a chat, and it's working beautifully. So we put lots of video. I think we've got about over 1,200 videos now on topics on everything from fashion and beauty to travel, downsizing, retirement, financial issues, all kinds of stuff. And one of the things that's nice about it is that I get to talk to you like this in a kind of casual way, and then you can leave conversations below and feel like you're part of a community here. And so I'm looking forward to getting your feedback on what's important, what you'd like us to talk about. We've covered a lot, but there's always more. So one thing that I like to chat about, oh, by the way, my tea. I do tea every day and I always forget because I've drunk half of it before I even speak with you. It's just an English breakfast today. Really, really simple. And one of my favorites, of course, because I'm from England originally. If you don't know this, I was born in London, but I was raised in Canada. I was raised in Northern Ontario in a little place called North Bay. And for those women who are watching from Canada, you know where that is. It's far north and very, very beautiful. And I, of course, lived in Toronto and Chatham and Windsor. And then I moved to Detroit, ended up in the States. So I've been all over the place. So I pretty much probably know where a lot of you live because I've been very close, there in my life. But I do like to travel and I like to explore new places. And we have a really wonderful blogger. Her name is Pearlie Ann Friedman. She is actually in Thailand, but Pearlie Ann is Canadian. So I think at this moment in time, she's in Ottawa. She sent me a note to say she was there for several months. And Pearlie Ann is great. I interviewed her on the YouTube some years ago, and we talked about her life in Koh Lanta, which is in a beautiful spot in Thailand. And she's gotten herself into some really interesting situations there, traveling around, and writes about some of her misfortune and some of her things she's learned, but also just about the spirit of being a good traveler, being on the road in a way that you attract other people, that you attract positivity and not any challenges. But this happens sometimes. But she's written an article called "Stay Cool, Calm, and Collected When Traveling Over 60. Enjoy your trip." And she talks about this from her own experience and how, the idea of a holiday is like no stress. That's kind of why we go on holiday. But there's so many little things that can happen to you when you're traveling that can cause a bit of stress. So it's like, okay, how do you stay cool, calm, and collected? And I think the most important thing that she says here is that whatever we project out to the world, that is going to create a response. So when we travel, if we travel with a particular attitude of openness and respect for the country that we're in and a willingness to learn and try new things, be a little bit bold and brave, that we will get more from what comes back to us. And then, of course, the converse is true that if we go there with a fear and negativity and distrust and lack of respect, then we're going to have troubles. Now, we know this, we'd never do this deliberately, right? When we're never going to hurt, someone's feelings or do something deliberately to hurt someone. But you do this when you're nervous or you're in new situations. So you can think back on times that you've kind of overreacted, right? Tickets were sold out at the train station, or you missed your train because the traffic was bad, or someone gave you wrong directions, or they told you some information that wasn't correct about your accommodation. It's got this and that, and then you turn up and it's not what it said. You can have so many different reactions to that. You can get angry and upset and frustrated, or you can sort of say, well, here I am in Thailand and it's not quite the same as Ottawa. So, it's just how to do things that will get you on the right side of the situation. First thing is, why bother to stay calm? What's the point? I mean, of course, you want people to trust you. This is the most important thing, is that when you're traveling, you're a stranger in their land. You're a stranger in their country, their city, and they are, they're people are going to have what I always call a love-hate relationship with tourists, especially places in Europe where it's so busy. You go to places like Venice or Paris, and the streets are just packed with tourists. Even here in Switzerland, I go into Lucerne or into Zurich, and there's crowds, total crowds of visitors, and you want them to be there because you want them to be there. From a business perspective, for businesses thrive. People coming to visit buy things, so it's good for business, hotels and restaurants. It's all a positive thing. So you're adding to the positivity by being a tourist. But there is that kind of, I want to just get to work, or I want to just get to my children's daycare to pick them up, and this people are blocking my road, or being inconsiderate. There's lots of tourists who don't have the same ethics of cooperation. So there's this love-hate relationship. But anyway, I digress. Pearlie Ann gives us, I think, 5 ways here to stay cool, calm, and collected when you're traveling, and I love them all. So thanks, Pearlie Ann, for sharing this with us. Now, the first thing is to breathe. Literally, breathe. Of course, we breathe just to live, but just to take a moment now and again to actually sit down and just breathe. It calms the situation. It calms you when you're about to. It's a count to 10, really, isn't it? It's that count to 10 before you react, and take a deep breath, because mindfulness helps you to focus on the present, just to be there. Like whatever's going on, okay, it wasn't what you thought it would be. It wasn't exactly what you wanted it to be, but it's okay. It's going to be good. Another thing is to smile. Smiling is the greatest positivity magnet ever. I have, I naturally smile. I'm kind of a smiler. I'm kind of a smiley person. But it actually does, what's the word, negate or neutralize negativity. If you say, excuse me, but does this number 1 bus go to here, or should I be on the 2? And just, it's not like being silly, like, oh, poor me, silly me. It's like, honestly, I don't know. Can you help me? And I think that helps you to overcome your own worries and your fears. Just smiling to yourself gives your brain the message that everything's okay. And I think that's important too. Going back to the asking for bus information, that's a third thing, and that is just to ask. If you can speak a little of the language, that is really super helpful. And there's translate tools now on your phone, although I'm not really comfortable. I'm going against the grain here. I'm not really comfortable pulling out my phone and doing a translate in the middle of a crowd of people I don't know. So I don't tend to use that technology unless I'm in a cafe or I sat down with someone or they're near them, and I can just say, by the way, and ask a question using translate. But if you can use a few words, and a lot of words are easy, like if you're looking for the bus or directions, you can point left or right. You can make the conversation work. But do ask. People want to help. They really do. So, I mean, there might be some people that, don't want to, but most people will help you. And then the next thing, of course, is to listen. When people are telling you something or giving you some instruction, don't interrupt. Try to listen and let others speak. And this is true also of just generally, if you're in a restaurant or cafe and you happen to sit at a table with people, and they start trying to talk English, and they know you're English, or they can speak English, if that's your language, let them talk. Listen to what they have to say. Just say simple questions like, where is a good place to eat? Or is there a nice park nearby? Just ask them a question. Or even if you're sitting with a woman with children, like, the children are beautiful. Where do they play? Whatever. Just get involved and then listen to the conversation. It calms actually our impatience. It helps us to see things in a little bit softer, muted light. Finally, and this is the biggie, is to show gratitude. Thank you. That's really important. Grazie. You can say merci. You can say all the words. Learn that word, thank you, in every language. It's probably, there's like 5 words you should learn in every language, like toilet, water, and thank you. It's such a cool word. And I think that in that, you really can balance your whole experience by both breathing, listening, smiling, asking, and showing gratitude. 5 things that you can do to stay cool, calm, and collected when you're traveling. I think it's really important. And I know when I'm traveling, I try to keep all of these in the front of my mind, and maybe you do too. But perhaps there's other things you do. So, how do you handle difficult situations that come up when you're traveling? What kind of actions or words do you use? What do you do? Do you have a special strategy for calming yourself down when you're feeling a little nervous and uncertain when you're traveling? Leave your comments in the section below. Let's have a chat. And one thing I want to remind you too is that you're here obviously on YouTube watching this, please subscribe to our channel. There's a little subscribe button and a bell you can press. I don't know where it is, but you can press it, and then it tells you when a new video is posted. And then also, if you want to have a little bit more private conversation, come join us at Patreon. It's honestly turning into the most fun place ever to be. I do exclusive videos, we do fun conversations. I have a live show, and it's for people that can afford to donate just a couple of dollars a month for us, $3 a month or more. And it's really helpful to us to keep the business going. And also, it's a lot of fun there. I'm learning so much from people. But anyway, do have a wonderful day. Wherever you join us, we're here for you. 60andMe is free of charge everywhere, and on the website, Facebook, Twitter, and we're happy to share with you this journey. So take good care, everybody. Have a great time today, wherever you're going, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye for now.